Ecuador has a total surface of 256,370 square kilometers and a population of 14 million inhabitants. Politically, it is divided in 24 provinces, 219 cantons, and 1,149 parishes. The urban population makes up 62.8% of the total and the rural 37.2%, with an indigenous population segment of 52%. Ecuador is one of the 12 most megadiverse countries in the world. Diverse not only because of its vast variety of floral species and fauna, but as well ethnically and culturally, with more than 40 ethnic groups. However, it is also one of the most inequitable societies in Latin America, with strong social, ethnic, cultural, economically, and geographical disparity. The inequality, the poverty, and the malnutrition converge in a diverse and complex socioeconomic situation in which the families with children under 3 years of age and the pregnant and lactating women are the most vulnerable. As an example, of every 10 children under 3 years of age, 3 children suffer from chronic malnutrition, 2 children are born underweight, and 6 children suffer from anemia because of iron deficiency. This situation is the result of a poor and little varied nutrition, given the limited access to food and the very bad nutritional education in large parts of the population. The presence of parasites also has an effect and is a recurring problem caused by bad sanitarian facilities and limited access to clean water.
Yo siento que ellos me ayudan a mí para aportar algo al reino de Dios.
Lo más hermoso es poder trabajar con vidas.
Es como sentir que uno está cumpliendo algún objetivo positivo en la vida.
Esto es de construir el reino de Dios. El reino de Dios no es simplemente decir palabras, ¿no? Sino más bien está hecho de hechos.
Caritas Ecuador belongs to the Universal Catholic Church and is member of Caritas Internationalis, an international organization in charge of developing and showing the social face of the church. It has 165 members working together with local churches. Caritas is devoted, through action and social work, to fight the biggest weapon of social destruction, such as poverty and injustice. Caritas is one of the most extensive networks for humanitarian aid in the world. Since its foundation and through its history, Caritas Ecuador has striven to deal with any situation of inequality existing in the country. Therefore, its mission has not been restricted to a specific place, but has instead attempted to deal with different needs of the population throughout Ecuador. In order to respond to the necessities and emergencies detected, the different departments of Caritas Ecuador has been created to coordinate the activities in each work area. The pastoral healthcare is taking care of the sick and the experience of sickness in its different dimensions, offering a comprehensive service on a human and spiritual level, and trying to dignify the experience of weakness and deterioration that inevitable is part of our life.
La ayuda humana que se da es la cercanía.
Yo no soy el doctor para ellos, yo soy el amigo para ellos, ¿no?
Nosotros trabajamos directamente con las comunidades más alejadas de la provincia.
Yo al venir a este país sí encontré el apoyo.
Y venir y que aquí la pastoral social nos dé la mano, o sea, me parece algo maravilloso.
In the area of human mobility, we work with relatives of immigrants, with immigrants, displaced, refugees and returnees. We do it in host communities, seeking to turn these persons into social actors, with the necessary tools to claim the fulfillment of their rights. We seek a supporting society and are convinced that the differences are no weakness, but instead a strength that enrich all of us.
me siento es como liberada.
Sí, soy feliz y la veo la vida más fácil.
Ahora nosotras las mujeres participamos en muchas actividades, no solamente en la comunidad, sino que ya fuera en el cantón, en la provincia.
Since the 80s, the Pastoral of Women lead the construction of a new society organized in accordance with the principles of equality and social justice. A society that promotes the right of a dignified life and wants to obtain gender equality. Therefore, the Pastoral has created and strengthened organizations for women in need, prepared to defend their rights and contribute with their active and conscious participation in a renewed Ecuadorian society. The Program for Advancement and Empowerment of Women has brought together more than 700 organizations and around 26,000 women from across the country.
Es que en este sitio, aunque sea un abrazo que le den, una palabra de aliento, eso es mucho.
Nosotros tenemos que ver a esa persona con los ojos de Jesús.
Returning to Caritas Ecuador's reason to be and the mission of the Catholic Church to serve the most vulnerable, whatever be their condition, the pastoral care for prisoners was created, devoted to work with imprisoned people in their entirety, contributing to dignify in the spirit of the gospel the life of these incarcerated human beings. In 1990, the implementation of a free legal service was begun, with gratifying results. Until today, more than 4,000 people have benefited from this. Department of Emergencies, Risk Prevention and Humanitarian Aid.
Nosotros desde la pastoral penitenciaria, más que darles cosas, tratamos de darnos nosotros.
Since its creation, the Department of Emergencies, Risk Prevention and Humanitarian Aid has carried out programs and projects directed to respond to local and national emergencies, affecting above all the most vulnerable part of the population. Its pastoral actions are directed at promoting self-management and integral community development, to encourage and strengthen productive projects aimed at a solidarity economy, and to create funds of resources available to confront emergencies and disasters. The work of the Church cannot be indifferent to the problem of hunger and malnutrition in the world. Caritas Ecuador has always had a special concern for people affected by hunger and malnutrition, in particular for the most vulnerable groups like children, women and the elderly. In the last years, we have developed a comprehensive project in defense of the right to food, improving the population's conditions of food safety, strengthening their abilities in different crucial aspects in the affected communities, and accompanying the social and political actors on a local level. With the objective of working for integral human development, the area of social and solidarity economy seeks to promote initiatives based in popular economy that, respectful of the environment, promotes a dignified and balanced life, as much for the families as for the communities and groups with whom we work. Through various initiatives, we are strengthening capacities of production, business management and marketing, developing new abilities, the creativity of the people, and facilitating the access to credit, something very limited for the less favored groups.
El proyecto ha sido de una motivación para las compañeras y tratar de luchar y salir adelante, tal vez buscando mejor calidad de vida para las personas.
Los resultados son bastante beneficiosos. La economía ha venido nuevamente a solventar cada uno de los hogares de nosotros.
Cuando yo llego aquí a la parroquia, la gente me recibe con una sonrisa, amablemente, educadamente.
Hay gente que realmente viene y solamente que le escuchemos, Y una vez que le escuchamos, dice, le agradezco porque me ayudó. Nosotros solo hemos puesto nuestros oídos y nuestro corazón.
In the end of the 90s, the creation of the Caritas Paris network was begun, with the objective of developing the commitment and social action of the Ecuadorian Church, an organized expression of the participation of the Christian people, concerned about answering the needs of the humblest and modest of society.
Las actividades que desarrolla la Caritas parroquial dependen de las necesidades de cada comunidad. Entonces, lo importante es que todo parte, obviamente, de la conformación del grupo de voluntariado y de una identificación de la necesidad de esa comunidad fundamental.
Uno de los retos fundamentales es conformar una red de amor, una red solidaria. Y luego fortalecer el compromiso de la comunidad, de los empresarios, de los actores sociales, para que este esfuerzo sea mancomunado y podamos llegar con éxito a estas personas vulnerables.
Entonces, lo que uno está llamado no es solo a mirar entonces una necesidad, sino a mirar la persona, a ver el ser humano, esta grandeza de Hijo de Dios, a construir esta realidad de solidaridad y más todavía que la solidaridad es la fraternidad.
In Caritas Ecuador, we believe that another fairer and more solidary world is possible. Our dream consists of helping that the Ecuadorians, above all the most vulnerable and impoverished, have opportunities to live in dignity. We dream about enlarging our network of solidarity to all corners of the country. We dream about multiplying our human and social work in order to reach the weakest and least fortunate, those who in this society have been excluded but are God's favorites. Help us supporting our work, share our dream for a fair and dignified world.